Guys, man, no matter how tough it is, no matter what you might be going through personally, on a spiritual level, maybe emotionally, maybe mentally, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. I know it sounds cliche. I know it's like a platitude of some sort. It's repeated filth that you're probably hearing on the internet a lot, or just in places in general, but you got to keep going. You have to keep going straight. I'm going to talk to you a lot about my personal journey and how I've come to this conclusion, right? So like, comment, subscribe. We're gonna get right into it. Life is tough, and I think that it's even tougher for individuals that can see, people that are disciplined, people that control themselves, people that are able to see beyond the veil of the everyday life experience and interaction. I think that it'll be even tougher for us folk. I have two jobs. I have like two different types of work. One, I'm facing people. I'm facing people, but for the restaurant job that I have, where I work in with Georgians, and it's a restaurant, I'm sort of dealing with the public a lot more. I'm sort of directly speaking to people a lot, and I sort of hear a lot about their experiences in life, and I just see sort of how they interact with people. And with the other job, it's more of, I'm in an addiction treatment center. I do inventory, so I'm not really interacting with them. But every now and then, I much more frequently, I'm seeing a lot of the patients, and I'm hearing a lot of their personal sentiments and their complaints and everything. And it's very, very heartfelt. And all in all, I'm getting this whole download of the human experience. And of course, I go out on my free time like this, like today, and I understand more about the human condition. And most people have it easy. Seriously, most people are not seeing a lot of the more subtle aspects of life, like the metaphysical interaction and the intermingling of energies that go on. People are not really perceptive to that, let alone seeing it or understanding it. So they live their lives very, very basic. It's the reason why I didn't get into this college was obviously because my 4.0 GPA wasn't enough. Not understanding that it was like a spiritual reason. There's a much more religious reason as to why that didn't happen. And it made me, and even with that, with this understanding, like I said, it hasn't really solved anything, or hasn't made me, given me a vantage point on life or anything. The more I've learned, and the more I seek, and the more I've started to understand, the more I've realized that I just don't know anything, and two, it doesn't change the trajectory of my life. Just think of life as you on like some sort of train car, and you're going forward, and you don't know where you're going, but the more information you have, it's just, you sort of understand, okay, I guess we're on a turn now, so I should brace myself on the right since the turn is going left. You can't really control what's going on. You just have, you could just brace yourself a little better. That's not to say that wisdom and knowledge and intelligence are useless. It's just to say that if you think that they're gonna be like some sort of protection from what's meant to happen to you in life, then I'm here to say that you're just sorely mistaken. In the last 4 or 5 months, I've taken like a huge turn in my life. I've cut off a lot of people. I've walked away from a lot of situations that were not good for me at all. I started to try to connect with myself a little bit more. And in this solitude and isolation and stillness, I was sort of confronted with like a harsh, bleak, very omnipresent reality where nothing could really save you at all. Nothing could really help you, nothing could really save you at all from this place. Faith in God is the best thing that you could have, because I'm telling you, it gets you through a lot of the hard times. You start to understand a lot more about why things happen to you, and so on and so forth, and the nature of life and everything. But the reality is life is just full of a lot of emptiness. It's full of a lot of really silent periods, and people connect with each other, they socialize with each other because there's an understanding subconsciously about this reality, like that reality of this reality, which is the stillness. It's full of stillness and silence, and they want to avoid it. They want to run away from it, and so they do that in myriad ways. They do it, maybe going to the bar, drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes and smoking weed and doing drugs, and trying to basically take their mind off the most apparent reality that everything is stillness and everything is silence and everything is really emptiness. That hasn't made me crestfallen in the slightest. Sombra's still here. I'm still happy about life and everything. But I've been, like I said, I've been in like deep isolation. Like unless I'm going out to work or I'm hanging out by myself, I'm just by myself. I haven't gotten a text about hanging out for 5 months, 6 months. I don't have any friends. I'm not speaking to girls on the side. I've gotten rid of all of those things. Like I stopped doing all of that because it doesn't change anything. It doesn't make anything more fulfilling, and a lot of the people that I've shared my time with and I shared my energy ultimately with are just not at that level of trying to understand, trying to realize, trying to ascend, trying to be disciplined. A lot of people are just not like this. The majority, and I'm sure you guys on Seamer Attention, you understand this too. You know this too. That's the reality of things. A lot of people would rather drink themselves to death, just because they get to do it with another person that temporarily blinds them to the reality of life, right? It's emptiness. And they don't want to sort of confront the steps taken because it's like, I guess people see it as a futile effort. You ascend, and so what? The end of ascension leads to more separation from everyone else who is responsible for blinding you to the emptiness of life. So why would you want to believe in God? Why would you want to ascend? Why would you want to learn about the more subtler aspects of life, right? And I understand that point of view. I just can't identify with it. I'm sorry. I need to know the truth. I've always wanted to chase the truth, and so this is why I'm here at this point now. It's cool. I mean, summer is upon us. I think in a few days we're gonna be in June, it's crazy. It feels like just like 2 weeks ago it was just winter. And it's going to be more of this. I'm going to be outside a lot more. There's going to be a lot more people outside, a lot more foreigners. The World Cup is coming. So it's going to be a lot more foreigners. Bosnia, the Bosniaks are going to be around. You know what I mean? The Uzbekis are going to be around. All that kind of stuff. We're going to have like a whole bunch of foreigners. And life is going to seem exciting for a little bit. But I don't know. At the end, it's just a lot of emptiness, Even in like a lot of my travels, like when I was, it's so funny because I remember specifically right now this time when I was speeding from Podgorica in Montenegro to try to get to Belgrade just to eat like at this restaurant. And it was a 5-6 hour trip, and I cut it down to like 4 hours and a half because I was really speeding. And during that beautiful drive, by the way, I remember, because I was alone. I was by myself, as with most of my trips. That's with every one of my trips that I take. And I was just driving. I entered Serbia, and I was just driving, and then the sun. It was like late afternoon, and the sun it was like this long field. I have it recorded in one of these videos, and it was this long field, and the sun was shining at this angle, and the grass. There was like a long bend on the left side of the road of a field, and it looked so beautiful, and it hit me on a visceral level, and it made me really appreciate how beautiful Serbia is. Like, Serbia is such a beautiful land. The Balkans is a beautiful place in general. Serbia, that's just a special land to me. And it made me realize at that point, like, this trip was useless, this drive was useless, and I can't really share how much I love that experience with someone else because I don't got anybody else. I don't got friends. I don't talk to anybody, you know? So it's like I'm driving through this and it's a beautiful moment, but then it'll be lost forever in the corridors of time. At least like that feeling that I got from it. And that didn't make me give up, you know? Or it's not making me sort of feel crestfallen or sad or anything. But it's a reality I've accepted. But I also, what sort of recenters me is that I gotta keep going. You know, things could change. Everything could change very suddenly, very quickly, and very strongly too, you know? So, yeah. I mean, I had a lot of trips like that. Like when I went to North Macedonia for no reason. I went to, just because I wanted to just be in the land. I went to Kosovo again for no reason. I went to Serbia again for no reason, like by myself. It was just me in the car. And I realized that I don't think I'm gonna sort of meet anybody that will really appreciate the way I appreciate things, you know, or just stuff like that. And it's not like I'm just like a very solipsistic guy or selfish. You gotta live on my terms. I'm a very like open kind of guy. Of course I am. But I just think that there are things that I will take to the grave with me in terms of visceral feeling about experiences that I've had. And it's kind of unfortunate. But I think the more you accept these aspects of life, I think the better it is, you know? I don't believe in God less. I don't have a much more negative outlook on life at all. It's just understanding, you know? That's not gonna stop me from, Kazakhstan is gonna be a little worse. Like, I don't know if you guys know, I'm trying to go to Kazakhstan next. And I wanna go to West Kazakhstan because it's nothing but desolation out there. There's nothing out there except statues of figures from the Soviet Union. If you guys don't know, Kazakhstan was a place where Uzbekistan as well, that Stalin put all of his political opponents and anyone he didn't really like, he sent them to Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan during the Soviet Union. But now, of course, they're recovering. Kazakhstan is a very strong economy, but there's a lot of places in Kazakhstan that are not developed. And I really want to go there because there's nothing but desolation in the West. I want to be amongst it, you know? I want to like smell the ground and touch the ground and all that kind of stuff. Most likely I'm going to be by myself. I don't doubt it. But I think that just makes the feeling much better, much stronger. So anyway, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. And I don't know. I was thinking about either going to Brooklyn or going to Queens. I don't know how I'm feeling. So we're going to see. Guys, if you enjoy that, leave a comment. Like, of course. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Don't let this place get you down. You got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Life is about constant progress. And you have to take your time to smell the flowers, of course. But there are going to be events that are going to shake you up. It's going to destroy your motivation. It's going to shatter your spirit a little bit. And you have to keep going. You have to take the time. Don't find solace in other people with those experiences because you are not actually dealing with it. You are just sort of substituting it with something else for a little while. Sooner or later, you're going to have to confront it again. You have to keep going. You have to keep going forward. Read, study, find God, exercise, and you're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. You got to keep going, guys. You got to keep going. And I'm going to keep going right now. We're going to try to find out where we're going to go first, and then we're going to go in that direction. Literally. So I love you all. Guys, stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Woo!